welcome to the Roundtable. Come to you live from the WWDBTV studios in the heart of what will soon be a very wet Las Vegas. We are at the end of August. It is still monsoon season, and there's a storm coming through supposedly for tomorrow to late Sunday. But anyway, we thank you for joining us, whether you're watching us on YouTube or if you're watching us on Facebook. If you're listening to us on the downloadable apps, we appreciate it. If you miss all that live stuff.
I thought you said on the down low.
On the down low.
Yeah.
You can. It is on. We are so far in the down low,
That's
we're
like
sinking.
plethora.
That's like plethora. Ooh, now I may have a new competition. And of course, in about 3 days, you can check it out on Roku when you download the WWDBTV channel to the Roku network and check out all of the TRT shows and everything else that the station has to offer, which, as Rick said, is a plethora of shows. 702-992-3207 is our phone number, 702-992-3207. Of course, show would not be complete with my compadres. To my right, the man who's fleet of foot, who even Flash couldn't beat.
Oh, boy.
Mr. Rick Upchurch.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing very well.
You know what this looks like, guys?
What's that?
This looks like a reverse Oreo, don't it? Chocolate in the middle, and we got two vanilla.
You thought about it.
I'm just saying, man.
Yeah.
Who's the milk, John?
John is the milk. We'll dip ourselves in it.
We'll dip ourselves in John.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, yeah, everything is good, you know.
You want to see white? I'll show you white.
Oh, my God. Oh, wait a minute. I got to get my sunglasses.
Oh, man,
we can turn the lights off in here.
Oh, my gosh.
Holy cow. That's not even a farmer's
Don't they have
tan.
reverse Oreos, though?
Yeah, they do.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, they do. The vanilla outside. I think they have.
Yeah.
But do they have with the chocolate inside, the vanilla on the
I
outside?
think so, yeah,
Do they?
yeah.
Oh, well, then there you go. It's a double stuff.
Hey, man, that dog will hunt, won't it?
Wow.
It just jump around. Hey, guys, look, tonight, college football is getting ready to start, right? College football, my alma mater, University of Minnesota, the Golden Gophers take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers.
At home or are they on the road?
At home.
In Minnesota.
At
Is
Minnesota.
it on
What's
ESPN or what?
Dare I ask what the point spread is?
I have no idea, but we're going to kick their ass.
Is it on
Okay.
ESPN?
Let me tell you that. It's on ESPN, yes.
I'll watch
The
it.
man to the far right who keeps asking questions, and that is because he is simply known as the mouth, but
I
we
don't
love
know
him.
nothing.
We love him. We love him regardless. His name is George Miklos. Big guy, how you doing?
Alive and kicking.
That's right.
How you doing, Georgie Porgy?
You look like you're about 15 years.
Made him, when the boys came out to play, George Porgy was, well, I can't say it.
Well, they made him cry, that's for sure.
That's right. Somebody's going to make somebody cry around
What are
here.
you saying?
I was gonna say you did something with your hair. You look about 15 years younger.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't even tell you this. I had a audition last Sunday. That's when I found out about Raider. But I went on an audition for a mob role.
Oh, wow.
So I figured, I said,
But you've done that before.
Yeah, that's my forte. Cops and mobsters.
Cops and
And
mobsters.
when I was looking in the mirror, I said, "Hey, you fucking look old. You look too fucking old." So I decided, "Hey, honey, you got the fucking shit for my hair." So I put it in, and boom, there you are. 45.
You're the reason I watch Chicago PD every night.
That's it.
Chicago PD. Oh my goodness.
I do. I watch him every night.
I do.
man.
I love the whole show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like watching him on reruns too.
Oh, yeah, heck yeah.
All right, we got a lot going on, but first, we would be remiss if we didn't send our thoughts and prayers out to everybody on the East Coast right now who has dealt with Hurricane Idalia, who is, I believe, now out to sea after making that heavy-duty right turn coming in from the Gulf originally. So I have some stats on that.
It toured my area up where I used to live, where I went to school, drove to Southwest.
I was watching the Weather Channel yesterday.
Yep, went right over it.
First of all, these weather guys on the Weather Channel, especially that Jim Tascadori, whatever his name is, this guy stands in the middle of every storm possible.
Yeah.
His personal insurance must be through the roof, and they must also be paid a ton of money to stand out there in the middle of
trying to
the
figure out what they're trying to prove. Well, the winds are at 95 miles
Yeah,
an
right.
hour. And
They're trying to hold on. Their body is perpendicular to the
Okay,
ground.
we get it, man. Get inside.
Well, have you ever heard of rain, sleet, or snow?
That's a postman.
Right.
That's what they
Yeah,
yeah.
postman.
Yes, I know.
Although they want to deliver the news, but let's
they're
face
not
it,
delivering no mail.
So Idalia has moved offshore today, but it still remains a tropical storm. Around 300,000 customers were without power in Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina as of early today.
I believe it.
Idalia could drop to 8 inches of rain in the Carolinas, and forecasters warn that flash flooding, urban flooding, moderate river flooding are possible. Well, look, if you've been following the news, I think flooding is the word of the day all over the place there. Let's see. The storm made landfall in Florida's Big Bend just before 8 a.m. Eastern yesterday, of course.
Between Panama City and Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Tampa is underwater.
Yeah.
If what's his face, Tom Brady were to throw the trophy again, he'd hit plenty
He
of water.
would.
Let's
He
put it
would. He
that way.
wouldn't make it to the
Hit land as a Category 3 hurricane after having strengthened to a 4 before hitting. And some residents who rode out Hurricane Idalia at home in Florida had to, quote, swim out of their windows.
Yes.
As much as all the stuff you said and all the danger these people had to go through, you know what's the most dangerous part? After. When they're walking outside and the power lines are down.
That's a great point.
Yeah, not only that, remember, you got all the snakes as well. You got
too.
snakes.
They were talking about
you got
that.
the alligators. You had an alligator man walked up to this gentleman's doggone car and bit the car and pulled the doggone bumper off the bad boy.
Did he really?
Yeah, man. He was pissed off. He's like, why are you guys messing with me?
John has a thought on all of this.
That's not.
No. I wanted to get back to talking about the weatherman standing out in the rain.
Yes.
And all
Yeah.
that shit. Some of you may or may not be old enough to remember Al Roker.
Yes.
Oh, stop.
When he was heavy.
Yeah, he was heavy, and he's standing out there in the storm and got blown down the road on his ass.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing
And
about
so
it,
you
guys.
know
That's it, yeah.
But here's the thing about it. It's not so much the wind, it's the gust.
Yes.
Right.
When that gust hits you, it's going to gust, man, to about
Right, just to take
120,
you.
150. That's the one that's going to get you for sure. And here's the thing. Here's what I ask. Why would you endanger yourself? This thing is huge. I mean, it was massive. It was huge.
Right.
They're sending out all the warnings. Anybody with half of a brain, right, guys? You would say, I'm going to get out of harm's way, man. Go inland and get away from this thing, and then come back and see what happens.
Guys surfing out there.
Yeah, why?
Singing in
What
the
would,
rain.
what
I
would
mean,
make
you know.
you do something like that?
Right.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Well,
Do you just want to be on TV or what?
Well, it's kind of like when the aliens land. You know, everybody wants to be interviewed about the other. But I think when it comes up, first of all, for some people, I bet this is the first time that they may be actually living through or seeing a hurricane up close and personal.
Well, in that typical area, it had been 100-some years since when he hit.
Usually, though, the storms come up and go straight across. I've
Right.
never seen a
The
hurricane
bend.
come in and then make that right-hand turn like they're
Right.
going opposite NASCAR. I mean, that was a huge right turn. But I think for a lot of people, number one, you know what? If you're living in that area, you accept the fact that flooding is
part of it.
Is part of it. Just like in Cali.
Sure.
You know, hurricanes, earthquakes are part of living there.
So hurricanes now.
Yeah, or hurricanes. Yeah, Hillary, right? 84 years or something. Anyway,
Right.
I think that's part of it. Now, the people surfing, they're idiots.
Yeah, they're
What is
crazy.
wrong, man?
They are the idiots out
But
there.
then you got to call who? You got to call the fire department. You got to call the
Helicopter.
police or
And
a
They can't get
helicopter.
through, but they can't
They
get through.
can't get through.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, guys, hey,
Well,
man.
I was watching the Weather Channel too, and there was this nice Cadillac in a parking space, and the waves. It was right there on the way. And you're watching the news, the Weather Channel, for a couple hours, and all of a sudden, every hour you'd see the water start to over the Cadillac, and even they were saying, "Whose Cadillac is that? They need to get that thing out of there." I wonder whatever happened to it.
Well, the owner may have just said, you know what, the hell with the car, I can replace it.
Right.
And remember, guys, this is the key. Here's the key. The waters in the Gulf are so warm, it's stupid. You can take a bath in it. And this is what's spawning all these doggone
Snakes.
Hurricanes
Oh,
for
that
sure.
too.
Because that water is, as a matter of fact, remember a couple of, weeks ago, 3 or 4 weeks ago, the earth recorded its hottest ever
Right.
on this earth. So what do you think that did to our oceans to stir this stuff up?
El Nino, whichever one it
El
is.
Nino,
Right.
yeah.
Whatever it is. El something or other. El Salvador, I don't know.
Right.
Something.
Yeah.
But no,
Funny.
yeah,
Again, I'm out of words.
but seriously, to everybody out there, please be safe. Please, like we're all alluding to.
Or
please
move
be
to
smart.
Vegas. You get the heat. That's
Or
it.
move to Vegas,
There's really
exactly.
no weather events.
That's
here.
right. That's true. Well, they say we are on
Wind.
one of the biggest fault lines ever.
Yeah, but
You know, I know.
I
that's
felt
true.
the Northridge quake back
Did you
in
really?
'91. That I felt.
Really?
Yeah. I hear like a
What kind of
bird. Is there a
sound you doing
cricket?
over
Is there a
You
cricket in
making-
here?
What is that?
But let me tell you guys.
I thought,
You know-
I thought it was one of you guys. sniffing. What
No.
is that?
Yeah,
the
that's
hell?
not
Is
us.
that a bird?
No.
That sounds like a bird.
Yeah, that's what it
Wait
sounds
a
like. A
minute,
bird.
wait a
Where's the
minute.
bird?
No, wait. I think we have ghosts that are following us.
Oh boy,
I hear something.
Yeah, it's
But
a
whatever.
whoosh
Yeah.
at every minute.
it sounds
It's
like
our
a bird,
guest.
don't it?
Or
Is it-
somebody going,
Did you bring a parakeet?
oh, I brought something with
Did
the
you?
bird.
Did you bring a bird? Merry Christmas.
You're number one in my heart.
I know that's right.
Are you
I'll
saying
take it.
something?
Yeah,
Dude?
don't you wish. Tweety?
Right. So
All
whatever.
right, so we got a lot to talk about
It's
today.
like your cell phone.
Huh? My cell phone is off. hell is that?
Yeah, it sounds like it's. Sure, I got a bird or a cricket. Whatever. So what else?
Do you have,
What do we got?
do you have your hearing aids in?
No.
Wow. There we go. Medical doctor. Whatever.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right,
well,
wait a minute. Ricky Cash, if that's you, we got you covered. We're good. I know you're there. No, it's not him, obviously.
Nope.
Anyway,
Okay.
jeez Louise.
Whatever.
So, yes, college football opens this weekend. Penn State taking on West Virginia at home. I also believe is how my team is
UNLV
opening
too.
up.
UNLV's this weekend.
Oh, they still play football?
Oh, stop.
Who?
Who are they playing?
Who did you say?
UNLV. I think they're
Bishop
getting.
Gorman? Are they playing Bishop Gorman? Because
Yeah.
they'll lose. To,
No, they're playing a team that's probably they're gonna get destroyed. Who is it? Is it TCU?
No, TCU plays Colorado.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking of. That. No, UNLV plays somebody that's gonna get in trouble. They're gonna.
he's over there banging everything to
Yeah.
try.
But I don't hear it anymore. So whatever.
Yeah, he killed the mouse that's under
Good.
the table just
And
now.
then you got Utah, Florida. At Utah.
Oh, yeah, it's getting.
Oh, did he get it?
Scanners.
Oh, boy.
Scanners. Remember the movie Scanners?
Yeah.
Oh, my
Okay.
Lord.
Yeah. So college football is full swing this weekend.
Yes, which means
Whatever it is.
I am going to watch
got
Colorado
it.
though. The
It's not.
TCU game. I am.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that one
I
too.
am because I like the Buffaloes. I used to like it back when they won. When Riverside, honestly, the quarterback passed away
Right.
in 1990, 91.
wasn't that Eric Bieniemy's team?
Yeah.
Cordell Stewart was also Colorado.
Right.
In that era.
Is that where
yeah.
Dion is?
That he's at
Yeah.
he's
Right.
at
That's
Colorado.
going to be a
Colorado.
great.
Yeah,
We'll
Boulder.
see how
I
it
don't
goes.
think people are questioning his first year as to whether he's got talent to have a winning record, but time will tell
I'm
the
not
season
going to.
progress.
This is the first. He's moved up to the
The
and
big
so-
boys.
So we're going to see. You
He's got-
I
you
hope
gotta
he has
give him a
success.
couple of years.
I want him to have success.
Yeah.
Especially with the team I'm root for.
Definitely, folks got to understand this. Look, you got to build a culture. That's the first thing you
Right.
got to build
Absolutely.
there. You got to bring in your guys, and they got to think the way you think,
Mm-hmm.
play the way you played, and buy into your system.
Mm-hmm.
And once they do that, and you can get everybody on that same page, especially when you bring in freshmen and sophomores,
Mm-hmm.
those are the kids that you got to raise up. Most of the time, most of your seniors and your seniors are going to be gone.
Right.
So now you got to get these youngins to think the same way you do
Yep.
and understand your system so that they get in where they fit in.
And both his sons are playing for him too.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's going to take the whole team in order for them
I
to be
agree. I
successful
agree.
this year, especially in the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to really play really well. Look, I'm not putting anything past Dion. I want
Me
him
neither.
to be successful. But folks, I'm just telling you, from the first game, only thing you're trying to do is find out what you can do good
What you got,
and
right.
what you got. That's it. And then you go to film meetings, you look at those tapes, and you talk to the kids, and you school them up. So don't expect a whole lot out of the Buffaloes in this game against a very, very good TCU team.
Over 91% picked TCU. So I mean,
Well, they're ranked what? 17, 14,
they're up
17, something like that in the
Yeah.
country.
so.
Anyway, so that'll start, but that also means that pro football.
Yeah, baby.
You didn't see what I sent you?
Ooh, yeah,
I
I
saw
saw it. I saw
Yeah,
it.
baby.
Oh, baby. So we're going to get together and have some wings
We
and
have
stuff
to.
and
We
pizza,
have to.
guys? What are we going to do?
I'll come and referee that.
We have
Yeah,
to.
it's going to be
gonna be-
murderous.
What day are they playing?
Sunday, September 10th.
Okay, no, I'm asking in terms of Sunday or Monday. I didn't know if they were
Sunday.
Monday night game.
Oh,
They're,
yeah.
So they're an afternoon game. They're a 1:00 game.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll check with the whiff. I'll pull up my calendar.
The
If there's
whiff?
nothing on the calendar, you guys are welcome to come to my place. We'll have chicken wings, pizza, whatever you want. We'll hang out and watch a game. As long as the Giants aren't on.
Oh, well, I don't
See,
I
now
get
we
it.
can't
No,
risk.
No, but
I
come
can't
on.
risk going anywhere and missing that game.
Well,
You
no, of
cannot.
course not. I wouldn't do
I
that
have
to
my
you if
friends
I'm
from
invited to my
Colorado
house.
already egging me on.
Oh,
Said,
good
Do you know
for
who
them.
I sit next to?
Oh, good
Do
for
you?
them. I am so happy that they're just giving you the business.
They
man.
are. They are.
Yeah.
It's
So if you
never
got,
ending.
we'll talk about it during the
Oh.
week, but if need be, we can certainly do that.
And,
I'm
and
here.
not only that, I'm going to be on TV, guys. They're going to have me on TV a little bit, talk
When?
about the game.
When?
Really?
The day before the game.
Oh,
On
Saturday.
Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
Where? Who's having you on?
Channel 9, I think it is. Channel 9. My wife set it up.
Yeah, it's a Colorado
Or
channel.
is it 8 here? No, Channel 8 here.
CBS.
Oh, Channel 8.
Yeah.
I hope it's not Channel 8. If they haven't
Channel 8
agreed
is
to their,
CBS. Channel
but if
13
but
is
Channel 8
ABC.
has not signed the agreement with anybody that's on Dish, so Channel 8 is blocked. I can't get Channel 8 for the football.
No, but
season.
they're just going to interview me.
no.
That's all, yeah.
I understand that.
But you
I
don't
get
get
Channel
Channel
8
8,
through
period.
satellite.
Yeah.
And because Dish Network and Channel 8 Next Star,
I got Dish.
I don't get Channel 8.
Why
It's
you
blocked.
tell me this shit now? Why
Well, no,
you tell me now?
mine's Direct TV.
Right.
I don't know what the
I got
situation.
Dish.
Yeah.
It
Wait.
What?
What about Roku?
What for his?
CBS.
I don't know.
8 is CBS.
Well,
Yes.
NFL Network too.
You can get CBS Live on Roku.
Oh well, there you go.
That game's going to be on
Yeah.
Fox locally for sure.
Yeah,
because
yeah, for sure.
Fox
I have a
is-
better idea.
Oh,
Bring them all down here.
Yeah.
Do the interview here.
I
We
agree.
will carry it. George and I will stand
We'll
behind
stream it
John.
live.
Yeah, we'll stream it live. George and I will stand behind John and make funny faces at you.
I think that's
you know.
a mistake. Broncos 59%,
Oh,
over
wow.
Raiders 40. Well, the Raiders have beaten them 6 times in a row.
Yeah, but you also don't have
I
David
guess
Carr.
it's
We don't
time.
have David Carr though.
Derek.
David. I had David Carr. Derek Carr.
Well, we have Aiden O'Connell.
Yeah, okay.
Well-
You better off with the Sisters of
Hang on.
St. Teresa's quarterback then.
Well, first
God,
and
he's so
foremost,
funny.
there's going to be so many mistakes in this game.
It
And
is.
Odell.
First
It's
game.
going to be a game of mistakes, and whoever has the ball last is going to win this game.
All right, so I'm going to put you in the hot seat, Mr. Sports Guy. I'm that
Yes,
sports
sir.
commentator.
Mr.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sports
There you go.
guy.
Who the man?
Okay, so Broncos brought in Sean Payton, the $100 million quarterback, coach, whisperer, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
How far into the season will it be before Russell Wilson gets benched?
I don't think Russell's going to get benched.
Do you think he makes it through the season?
I really don't, because you know why? This is the reason why. I believe Sean Payton is going to want to run the football
Okay.
and not put Russell in such a bad situation.
Right.
Okay.
I think what they want to be able to do is play action, and also they want to boot him outside of the pocket.
Okay.
And so that's going to keep him out of trouble.
Okay.
And he also brought in Drew Brees as one of the quarterback coaches
Mhm.
to help Russell out a little bit. And I think he's really going to help him as far as understanding the system, who he needs to get the ball to, because, Drew Brees is just one of the most outstanding. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think that Russell is going to buy into the system and allow the system to make him a hero. That's just my opinion.
Although I have to I did read an article today, the fans are livid in Denver. They want Stidham. That's what they're saying.
They do what?
They want Stidham. They want Jason Stidham.
You know
Stidham
what?
or
And
Stidham or
look.
Stidham.
You don't lose your job to anybody until you earn losing the job.
I get it.
Fans, stop this. Don't do that type of stuff, because
Yeah.
once again,
Yeah,
you got to understand the guy's got to play at least half the season before you can start talking about, hey, let's get him out and let's do all this and Stidham and all that type of crap. Stidham hasn't played against the number one defense at all, whether it be the Oakland Raiders, whether it's San
Patriots.
Diego, whether it's the Patriots. He hasn't played against the number ones. So it's real easy for people to say, oh, well, he's the guy. Really? Give me a break. When they start blitzing his ass and coming off the edges and bringing the fire up the middle, I'm guarantee you that young kid, man, will be back there, man, like Thunderbird headlights. His eyes are going to be like this.
Well, that does it for the sports segment here at WWDBTV
Yeah,
Sports.
well, hey, man.
I'm Aaron Phillips with George Miklos and the man Rick Upchurch.
Hey,
That's it for sports. We're going to go to commercial. When we come back, we'll be back at the main news desk right after this.
Hello, my name is Anselmo Cornelius, and I'm one of the 1,000 digital branch office owners of Transact Card in the country. If I could save you money and double your buying power, wouldn't you want to know how to do that? The U.S. national launch for the Transact Card is coming to the Paris Hotel, Las Vegas, on November 12th, 13th, and 14th. We are now in pre-launch mode for our company's opportunity platform, which means discounts and savings right now on new memberships. If you obtain your card before the November 12th launch date, you will never pay an annual fee like you do for most credit cards. Transact Card can enhance your buying power and change your financial well-being. One swipe of the card at a time with a new twist in banking. Contact me, Anselmo Cornelius, at 209-990-7720. That's 209-990-7720. Thank you.
It's a week early. Hey, welcome back to the Roundtable. Thank you to Transact Card and our friend Selmo Cornelius, who was actually a guest here a few weeks back.
Yes, he was.
He is now part of
Do you know who he's related to?
Yes.
Let me
Yes.
guess. It's between
Don Cornelius.
Don Cornelius.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Soul
Yes.
Soul Train.
I used to watch that. I'd be a
And
little.
his sister actually danced on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is he
Oh,
really
my
related
goodness.
to? I thought you were being facetious
No.
instead of the other answer.
Because I asked him.
Man, what a great show. I couldn't wait for Saturdays to come on.
Oh,
Right?
they had the bar.
When
like
Saturdays came on, man, and
was-
they had the doggone, the light up there at the top going off, and then you had the dancers, and you had the great groups. Oh, man, Soul Train was it.
Dude, I got a video I'm going to send to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
You will
I-
love it.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I was 12.
You were 12? Did you
I
know how to
watched that
boogie?
show. Yeah, I did. I was in
Did
my
you know
living
how to
room.
break dance?
The Banana Splits was the group size.
I was in the living room. My mom would freak out, and I was looking at the bar like I was doing the.
Oh, my
trying
God.
to get into the
Oh, is that ugly? Is that
Uh,
ugly?
on that
sorry,
note, let us
no,
move
sorry.
on, shall
Yeah,
we,
let's
please?
move on.
I was
So-
skinnier, though. I was
So
better
Las
looking.
Vegas,
Thank
is
you
it?
for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching. There goes all of our sponsors. Anyway, so we are talking about football. So I'm going to segue into one football story first, and that is the fact that there's some really big football game coming out here in February. Anybody know what that is?
Can you imagine? Super
Super
Bowl
Bowl.
58.
Super Bowl. But did you know that the
Can we say that?
events?
We have to say the big game.
I know.
We can't say
Screw
Super
that. The
Bowl.
Super Bowl brought on by the NFL,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the No Fun League.
Right.
Well,
Anyway, the event schedule for Super Bowl week has just come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have it right
Oh,
here
do
in
you
my
really?
hot
Yeah.
little hand. So, opening night will be February 5th at Allegiant Stadium, where the players and coaches will be available to media during their only public appearance in Vegas before the game. The NFL will be centered at Caesars Palace as the official hotel, and opening night at Allegiant Stadium, which again will be held on February 6th. Super Bowl Media Center, Mandalay Bay Convention Center, will open February 4th through February 11th, where media outlets will meet and interview an array of sports personalities and players. That will be open 24/7. The Super Bowl experience at Mandalay Bay Convention Center tickets, which include displays of the Lombardi Trophy and other various exhibits, will be held February 7th through the 11th, with tickets going on sale in December.
I have a
Here
feeling
are
how
your
many
prices. For February 7th, between the hours of 3 and 10 p.m. Pacific, adult prices are $25 a ticket. Kids 12 and under are free.
That ain't bad.
Thursday, February 8th, 3 to 10 p.m., adult prices, $50 a ticket. Kids are still free. Friday, February 9th, 3 p.m. to 10 p.m., $50 an adult. Kids are still free. But on the 10th,
Kids should always be free.
But that's all Mandalay Bay, right?
yes,
Okay.
Saturday the 10th, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., still $50 and free for kids. It is described as the NFL's interactive football theme park, and it is family friendly.
I think I'll be there. Probably.
Let's see. Tickets for the experience, as I said, will be on sale in December. February 7th, the Super Bowl Soulful Celebration is a concert bridging cultures and igniting inspiration. Tickets go on sale for that December 1st.
Where's that at?
It doesn't say exactly where. I'm going to guess Allegiant Stadium.
Okay.
But I'll give you the website people can go to. The Taste of the NFL will be held at Keep Memory Alive Center on February 10th. I have no idea where that is. It will be hosted by culinary celebrities like Andrew Zimmerman, Carla Hall, Tim Love, Lashita Perry, and Mark Butcher maybe, with appearances by more than 30 NFL greats. Are you one of them?
I am. I will
You're
be
going to that? Seriously?
What I will be doing, I'm on the welcoming committee. What I'll be doing is going to the airport and welcoming some of the folks here to Las
You're
Vegas.
not going alone, are you?
No, I'm not going alone. I got some other folks that'll be with me in that hotel. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
I guess we're not big enough.
Hey, it's going to be fun. It's going to be. That's all I know. Seeing everybody. That's all I know.
They forget the guys in the low places. George.
No, that's not true.
Hey,
But
whatever it comes our way, I will be extremely happy.
Listen,
whatever
We're
happens.
with him. I expect a lot more than
Yeah.
whatever. That event, the Taste of the NFL, is for ages 21 and over, which tells me liquor is going to be involved. At the Super Bowl breakfast will be
Kids
held
are
at
free.
Caesars. The Super Bowl breakfast, Caesars Palace, February 10th, with the center presentation being the Bart Starr Award to a current NFL player who has demonstrated character, integrity, and alignment with Starr's lifelong commitment to serving as a positive role model to his family, teammates, and community. Lastly, Super Kids Super Sharing event being held in January of 2024 at the Pearson Community Center will be in partnership with the Raiders, Clark County Parks, Verizon, and other sports entertainment book. If you were not fast enough to write all that down, go back to YouTube, go back to Facebook, or go to Roku, and you can watch it again. Or Go
Google
to
it.
go to superbowl.com. Everything is there.
That's
Yeah,
a heck of a
absolutely.
week they've got planned for
I'm
us.
tired
here.
just
It
reading
is.
it.
It is. And then, like you said, with everybody coming in and welcoming them here to Las Vegas, and then getting them to where they need to go, and getting them around and
That's
everything.
That's all.
That should be interesting. Real interesting.
The
Say hi
F1.
to Rick Trader.
Rick who?
Trader.
Jay Schrader.
Jay
Jay
Schrader.
Schrader.
Yeah.
Rick.
I will. Yeah.
This is Rick.
Jay.
Yeah.
This
He's
is
a
Jay.
Jay.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is another
Jay's
difference.
the tall one.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm
Yes,
the
he
short
is.
one. Yeah.
They have F1, the Sphere, and the Super Bowl, all within a 2.5 month period.
Look, did you hear the type of money in just July alone
Yes,
that
I-
Las Vegas has made, man? So
4
you can
billion or
imagine.
something,
Yeah,
yeah.
can you imagine, man?
It's a net record. It's a record.
Dude,
It's another
yeah.
record.
Unbelievable.
I think it's almost $2
$1.4
billion.
billion, yeah.
Unbelievable.
I
So-
shared it on my wall too.
So, folks, Vegas is jumping. Get
That's
your
right.
butts out here, man, and have some fun.
we
I
keep,
want my wall to be jumping like that.
that's right. Oh, it's jumping, but there's a lot of moths in it that are
Right,
jumping in
that's
my
it.
wallet there. All right, let's go. Let's stick to something that kept. Did you just get? You just get what that was?
Yes. Walls didn't open.
I have no rings in my wallet. if you know what I mean.
Right. Oh, boy.
Shit. So let's stick with the sports theme, which actually is a little bit more of a serious note. You want to talk about that report that we were talking about that for CTE?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, folks, way back, let's see, maybe about 4, 5, 6 years ago, CTE went into a study, and they found out that CTE is real. But the only way they could find out if someone had CTE, guys, is if they donated their brain and the brain after death, and then they could look and see if they had CTE, and that's the only way the families could really get paid. Well, now, with the studies, they're finding that CTE and 40% of athletes who died, they died before 30 years old.
It's
That's unbelievable
Yeah, it is.
number, gang. That means that you got high school kids, you got young adults who are dying at an age of 30 years old, before 30 years old, because their brains, man, are just scrambled. They can't think. They're suicidal, and that's the number one thing that's going on with this CTE. And guys, it's real. It's for real. And folks got to understand that they've got to do better as far as being able to understand if a guy has a real serious, a concussion, and if the guy can go back into the game, and the equipment, you're always going to get concussions. It's the number of the concussions that you get that's going to make the difference as far as this is concerned. So how do you fix it?
You just mentioned equipment. I was just going to ask you before you said that, today in practice now, you see they have that extension now.
The bubble helmet.
Yeah, the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is that? I mean, yeah, it probably absorbs a hit or two here and there, but how do you feel about that?
I think it's just for show. I think the NFL is trying to tell moms and young
safe.
dads for their young kids that it's safe, and they're doing everything they can to make this game safe. But there's no way, guys. Like I said, if a big guy that's 6'6", 315 pounds, man, hits you with his knee, well, I mean, even if he knees you in the head, you're going to get concussion. Believe me. What about when you hit the ground? When they hit you and tackle you and you hit the ground? So you're never going to stop the concussions. The key thing is is understanding and knowing that CTE is real. And when the players, man, let you know and tell you, man, that they're having issues, believe them.
You have to, right.
Remember Aaron Hernandez.
Yep.
Aaron Hernandez was off the chain. And then he ended up doing what? Committing suicide. So
in a jail cell.
In a jail cell. And then when he died, what happened? They looked at his brain and they saw that he had CTE. So, folks, this thing is real and it's dangerous. And family members are suffering behind this.
Right.
And especially kids are dying at 30 years or before 30 years
So
old.
what do you
That's
do?
crazy.
I mean, when I played, I remember you got your bell rung. Sit down for a few minutes. That was what we called it. Oh, we got his bell rung.
Yeah.
That's basically how.
Well,
it
not
was around.
today. That was back
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
That's
40,
back
50
then.
years ago.
But now they're protecting the shield.
helmets now.
They're protecting the shield. They're protecting the shield from what? From lawsuits.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't want to have to pay out all of that money that they're holding on to right now during the settlement that we had in the courts.
So how do you make it safer, Rick?
You
How do
can't make it safer. There's no way you can make it safer
can't. I
because
don't think there is.
collisions are going to happen, head hitting on the ground, getting kneed in the head, you're just not going to get rid of it, guys. I'm sorry to say that.
I think what you need to do is you need to take those blow up sumo wrestler suits that are put people in that big ball, and they just play in that thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey,
That's
believe it or
true.
not,
But even with that, they're going to say, man, well, there's collision there, and it's going to juggle the brain and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I think the worst thing I saw on television within the last couple of years regarding the concussion was the thing with the guy in Miami, Tagovailoa.
yeah.
He had his bell rung more so that when he got up,
4 or
he
5
was
times,
stumbling all over the place.
Season.
And they pulled him out. They put him in the tent, and they said, "Oh yeah, you're good to go." And they went back out there, and then he had his bell rung again
Yes.
a couple of plays later.
Yes.
And that was it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunately it is a side effect to a sport that in its existence of play is a violent
And
contact sport.
and it's going to affect every level. If
Correct.
you try to do something, even starting from pee-wee to grade school to high school to
Yes.
college,
Well,
it affects the game all the way through because when you're a kid, you know the possibilities are there. Your parents know. My parents never, oh, no, I don't want you to play. They never did that to me.
right.
They let me make the choice.
They gave that to me not to play because as a Jew, you don't play before your bar mitzvah.
This is after you're 12. Well, I waited till after.
In other parts of the world, football is soccer.
Right.
And there's also
Boring.
rugby. Now, those
Now,
are
rugby's
both pretty
tough.
violent sports.
Soccer.
But are they having the same problem in those sports there?
They are.
that
They're having the same thing.
Rugby.
Soccer, they're having the same thing
Well,
because they hit the ball.
There you go.
And they hit him on the frontal lobe. Those type of things. Hockey is not as bad. It's not as bad because a lot of times the head is just not involved in it, right?
Right.
But even with that, when they get hit and they get checked into the boards and their
Right,
head
that hurts.
hits
They're
that
getting
doggone,
whiplash.
they're getting that whiplash.
And rugby, though. Rugby, boy.
That's
rugby.
suicide.
Those Aussies, man. Without
Woo-wee.
pads, man.
Yeah, so look, the game is dangerous, gang. I'm telling you now, it's dangerous. Like I told you, man, the first time I touched the ball in the league, I got hit Kansas City on a kickoff return, man. My helmet got cracked. I was looking through the ear hole, man. My lip got cut. I had a knot over my eye. And I went over to the sideline. Floyd Little asked me, he says, "Are you okay, Rook?" And I'm like, "Hell no, I'm not okay. What are you talking about?"
Get the number of that truck that ran me
Yeah,
over.
they asked
Look
me.
at me.
Yeah, they asked me how many fingers, and I said, "Man, there's 5 of them bad boys." They said, "I only got 1 of them." I said, "How many fingers did I have?"
Hey, Mama, can I watch the Flintstones? Get him out.
Yeah, but then Haven Moses gets injured. I get put right back into the game.
Wow.
And that's what George was talking about before. You know, it was a little take a few minutes, and you know what? We had no tents at that time.
That's
no
right.
Tent, no
That's
Sat on
doctors.
the bench, took your helmet
Yeah.
off, sat
So
there
rub
for
a little
few
dirt
minutes.
on your forehead.
Right.
You know. But listen, here's the thing. 152 young athletes were part of that study, and they were exposed to repetitive head impacts, youth, high school, college sports. Now, with
Sports, not just football, but any
that, it says
contact.
sports, but most were amateur athletes who played football, ice hockey, soccer,
Okay.
rugby, or
Okay.
even wrestling.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you know when you get taken down from a
You can
standing,
take-
and I'm
you
not
can
talking
throw
pro
down.
wrestling.
Right.
We're talking amateur wrestling. You're up in that standing
Oh,
position.
yeah,
The guy
yeah.
from behind picks you up and puts you
Slams
down.
you down.
Your head is going backwards.
That's right.
I think a lot of times, maybe 50-50. You could correct me if I'm wrong with this thought. Obviously, the head impacting the ground
In any
is
way.
in any
Right.
way is important, but the whiplash effect
Yes.
of that snap
Yes.
seems to be just as important at the condition of the head
Yes.
as much as making contact with the head. Most quarterbacks get that whiplash effect because of the way they get tackled from the
Right.
front. They get the whiplash because the head bounces
Yeah,
off.
right.
But that initial hit, when you see it in slow motion, man, you're seeing the guy's head like a bobblehead
Right.
before they're going backwards
Yes.
in the tackle.
And a lot of times, what that's doing is affecting the spinal cord.
Correct.
Right.
That's what
And
it's
that's doing even more
They've
damage.
been doing even more damage.
Wide receiver, to me, getting kicked in the head because the body parts are flying,
Right.
is more suspect. But you get your legs cut out from under you and you're going up for a pass and you can't protect it. You're landing on your head.
Absolutely.
How many of those old clips do we see receivers going straight down with their head impacts like
Oh,
a
I
turtle?
know, I
Right.
No, I know you know. And I'm sorry if I'm bringing back bad memories for you, Rick.
I got some flashes.
Right.
Oh, can we get some meds over there? No, it is. But what are the symptoms of CTE? So here's some of the things I'm going to share with you. CTE stands for chronic traumatic encephalopathy. I practice that word
Yep.
all day long.
Me too. I did it.
So Memory loss.
Isn't that character on Sesame Street?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's Snuffleupagus.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
The fact that I knew he was talking about worries me.
Me too.
Memory
oh
loss,
my God.
depression,
Yeah.
aggression,
Yeah.
problems with impulse control,
Yeah.
and one that you talked about, which is probably the worst, suicidal behavior.
Right.
And the most common cause of death among those studied was suicide.
Yes.
Okay. Experts say that the longer a young person goes in contact sports, the greater the risk, and parents need to weigh the pros and cons.
Yes, yes. And that's
So-
why a lot of us guys right now, we're going through the testing right now.
Yeah.
We're going through the neurological, we're going through the cognitive, we're going through all of those tests right now in order to determine where we're at as far as this disease is concerned. Is it mild? Is it medium? Is it in between?
Serious, right.
Or is it real serious in that whole deal? And so that's why they left the door open for us to be able to go back and get tested on a normal basis. But the only way we can get tested, guys, is through the NFL doctors.
Right.
If we get anything done, man, through our own doctors, that doesn't even count.
It negates
Wow.
it.
It negates it. I'm sitting there saying, are you serious?
Let me ask you a question. You don't have to answer if you don't want to, but it just dawned on me. Will you have it written somewhere that the NFL people can look at your history when the time comes, which will be for a long time, that they can check? You've had concussions, yeah? Would you agree down the line to be part of a study if so requested? I mean,
Absolutely, I would.
Okay.
Because
I
once
had to
again,
ask it delicately.
yeah, absolutely. Because once again, we played in an era where it didn't matter,
Right.
right?
Right.
And the guys before us playing, they didn't
no,
hardly have helmets
And
on,
they had
right?
leather on, yeah.
Or
right.
anything on.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the guys from the 50s and the 60s and the early 70s and how they are.
Right.
They can't be very good.
Right.
And so after that, they said they fixed the helmets and to be better, but mine got cracked. So how was the equipment any better until after they found out about this disease
Right.
that players are having?
You can't fix what you don't know is broken.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just saw an interview with Jim McMahon.
Yeah.
And he's having troubles now.
Oh yeah, a lot of the guys
He
are
took
having
a beating.
having problems. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to tell you tomorrow. I go and I get my EEGs tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
in that whole deal. They're going to put the pads
Yeah.
all over my head
Check
in that
to
whole
see
deal,
how it-
and all of that stuff. And then the next one is the EKG,
Mhm.
is where they take the things and put them into your muscles
Mhm.
and that whole deal. I'm having issues, man, with my hands sometimes, man. They'll just seize
Lock
up like this. They'll lock up in that whole deal, right?
Mhm.
That's nerves. That's
Right.
coming off of here. So I'm getting all that stuff done. Yeah, I'm getting it done.
Neurological. right?
Yeah, neurological.
If they I'm going to make light of this because I want to lighten up the mood a little bit. So if they put those probes on your head and they have an opportunity to change the channel to WWDBTV, go ahead and let them do it.
I will do it. I would definitely talk about.
Reprogram.
Yeah,
Doctor, is
reprogram.
that
it.
you?
But
It's
yeah,
like-
so we're
No,
all
absolutely.
we're all going through
Didn't
it, gang.
know that when I leave for Reno, I'll have you in my mind that everything goes well.
Yeah, we're going through our testing and all that type of stuff. Especially if you can catch it early,
Right.
right? Then you can possibly do something about it to get
Right.
you on medication and those type of things.
Right.
But
Which
if
is
you don't
exactly what
catch
they
it,
said, yeah,
but
right.
if you don't catch it, guys, it's really bad news. Not so much for the player, but man, the
For the
families
families,
suffer.
right.
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
suffer.
All right. I want to do one quick story before we go to break because we want to talk about a food chain that just got sold.
Oh yeah.
This weekend is Labor Day. And I thought we'd do I have a whole packet of information about Labor Day, and I know we still have America Speaks. So we're going to go to break early because we had a lot to do. I didn't mean to wake John up by throwing him a curveball,
What?
but we're going to take a quick break. When we come back,
With
we got
my favorite commercial.
with your favorite commercial. Oh, all right, roll it. We'll be right back.
Roll it.
Well, hello, good people of planet Earth. Is this thing on? Hello. I can't see you out there in TV land, so I'm going to rely upon the honesty of the internet that I know you're on the other side of this mirror. And me, your warlord of weird Sin Bodhi, is hoping that if you want to stumble upon the greatest form of internet entertainment of all time, even though the internet's only been around for about 23 minutes, I would like you to watch WWDBTV.com. It is amazing. It is awesome. They'll teach you the meaning of life. They'll teach you all sorts of cool stuff, how to turn peanut butter into jelly, and so many other things. And if you're going to watch, do it with styles. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Is this thing on?
That's the mouth right there.
That's funny.
Sim Bodie, professional
All right.
wrestler, great guy. We saw him this
All
past
these folks
weekend
hanging out with
at
us.
Samstown. We had the Power Play Sports Collectibles card show. You guys, I know you're not big wrestling
Not
guys.
really.
But one of the other folks that was there was a gentleman who's wrestled for me. Is Greg the Hammer Valentine. I don't know if that name rings a bell or not, but I watched him for many years. We interviewed him on Thoughts Count Anywhere. I have a picture with him, which I haven't posted any of those up yet. But Sim Bodie, he is a legend. He actually did a spot for us for Thoughts Count Anywhere at the previous Power Play Sports show, and he's also willing to come into the studio, get him as a guest. And he actually lives up in Pahrump. He has a farm up there. He has got the chickens and the goats, and he does figures, and he does sports figures. He creates wrestling. So so thank you, Sim Bodie. What?
Not just sports figures.
What?
Anybody.
That's true. He does people.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that.
I was too. I've already.
But did you talk to him about price?
Not yet. I'm going to.
You find out first.
Yeah.
Then we'll make a bulk order.
Yeah.
Well, you know, in wrestling, my guy was Bobo Brazil.
Bobo Brazil. Oh, yeah.
It was the Sheik.
Yep.
And then it was the Claw. The Claw. He put that thing on you, boy, and just squeeze that bad boy, and it was all that in a bag of chips. And then Ric Flair. Ric Flair was my to be the best, you gotta beat the best. Woo! I love him, man. I thought he was great.
Tyrus retired. He lost. Tyrus lost, and he's now.
I saw that. Yes,
and he's now
I got one
retired.
for you.
He retired it and losing.
Yeah.
Who?
All right, you pencil neck.
Oh, classy Freddie Blassie. When I started watching wrestling, he was already managing. He was done in the ring, but that's a good one. Now, you mentioned the Iron Sheik.
Yeah.
It's a good segue for a story that I wasn't going to spend a whole lot of time on. But if you saw the news.
It was a what?
Huh?
A segue?
It was a segue, not the thing that you ride.
Okay.
Segue is when you transition from one story to another. Because you said something that relates to the next story, so it's a segue in.
I was from the hood, you know what I'm saying? So if you'd have just said,
I didn't say Subway.
They have hoods in Iowa? I'm just asking.
Obviously not on his side of the tracks. Anyway, ladies and germs.
You guys need to
So I saw this article today, which kind of floored me. You know, we talk about be kind, be peaceful.
Yep.
We need to do this. I say something at the end of every show I sign off with. Well, let me tell you, ladies and germs, there are plenty of parts in this world that don't give a shit. An Iranian weightlifter who placed second a picture was taken where he was shaking hands with the third place finisher who was from Israel. This guy from Iran has now been banned by the Iranian country of ever participating and representing Iran again because of a simple handshake.
I think he's dead already. They do that kind of shit.
Well, he might be. They got rid of Putin. Who the hell knows?
was on
Or not
that
Putin.
plane.
He was on the plane.
He
was coming back from the
Hey,
event.
they still get rid of people like that way.
My point is,
enemy.
the only reason they did this is because Iran does not recognize Israel at all, let alone being Jewish.
Right.
I mean, are we serious here? I mean, this is how bad things are. So we talk about trying to make steps forward in our life, make better things, make better choices, make better people, etc. Be kind to everybody. Why? Because we're all I have. And here you got a guy who did a simple little gesture of a handshake congratulating somebody. Yeah. He didn't care about colors. He didn't care about flags, although they did show with all three winners. They have their country flag like they all do. He didn't care. He saw a human being with two hands, 2 feet, arms, and all he did was he congratulated him and shook his hand. And for that, he may be toast by now.
Yeah,
absolutely. Which is what those competitions are all about.
They don't care over there. You know, you can get, thrown in jail or
you know what?
A hole in the ground.
They should go to hell. How's that? All right. I just had to throw that in there. That would have been a good American speech thing if we had.
But even with that, though, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
I'm watching tennis, right? The U.S. Open, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And you have a Ukrainian girl playing a Russian girl. They have the Ukrainian flag next to the Ukrainian girl's name, but they don't even have the signia or the flag or anything on the screen next to the Russian girl. And that's what continues to fuel all this hate in our society and our world.
Sports supposed to bridge the gap between all that.
But was that done by NBC or ESPN, or is that done maybe Russia didn't want? If they're playing Ukraine, Putin, he could say, I don't want our flag on there,
I think it's the United States of America saying we are not going to recognize Russia. Okay. Period.
I get you.
We're not going to recognize you against this woman who's from the Ukraine, and you're attacking them. But the young lady that's playing, what does she have to do with this?
Nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. Same thing with the
Now,
weightlifters. What do they have to do with the politics?
humorous. You brought up tennis. I was thinking, maybe he thought the story of where both a female player and a male player so they're smelling weed now while they're out there playing, and I guess court number 7 happens to be right by a park, and unless they're smoking weed in the stands, but now who knew?
Who knows?
Now Wimbledon and all these fancy tennis. Now they're smelling marijuana now, and it's affecting how they play. They say.
You would think they'd be.
They're smelling weed while they're playing tennis, which is hilarious. You wouldn't have seen it 30, 40 years ago.
What does it do? Raise their olfactor and all that type of stuff?
I was going to say, you think they'd be happier with their play, right?
You would.
Jeez.
That one's cool, man.
My,
Nice job, dude.
is my skirt too short? I don't really care.
I mean, it's just funny of it in today's world now. All of a sudden, now
you think about all that
players
stuff.
are complaining about smelling weed now.
Well,
I can say that, man, when we was playing the Raiders. I remember, man, back behind me, man, I was like, are they just funneling this stuff down to us or what? Because it was coming on strong with the Raiders in Oakland.
In Oakland, they have an area, and I've been in that area.
Oh,
and he just left.
Oh, boy.
He stopped at White Castle on the way back for those
I said,
wrestling.
honey, I got to go to the bathroom. That's your 4th time.
That's right. In 2 minutes.
Right.
Anyway, all right, let's shift along because we're quickly running out of time already. I can't believe it.
Yes, sir.
Subway, where you have to eat fresh,
Yeah.
was sold. I like the word that has sold itself
Yeah.
to a private equity firm called Rourke Capital. And in a 6-month-long search for a buyer, it brings to an end the sandwich chain's near 6-decade run as a family-owned business.
Really? Wow.
Yep, 6 decades. Now, Rourke Investments, not a stranger to the world of food.
So does that mean Jared's fired?
He's been in jail fired
He's
for a
been
while.
fired already.
He's got a whole nother
inspired.
Subway happening in jail.
That's
anyway,
right. You want a foot long? You got it. All right.
with all the fixins. Anyway. Is the meat fresh? Anyway, so with that, Rourke owns Arby's, Annie Ann's Pretzels, Buffalo Wild Wings, Carvel, Sonic, Dunkin' Donuts we heard before. So these guys are not new to the food industry.
No.
But here's the thing. Subway was asking a purchase price of $10 billion. Jesus. You know how much, according to Wall Street, the Rourke folks paid $9.6 billion. That's not bad that they got pretty close to house.
Oh,
Now, here's the thing. So Rourke's deal is one of the biggest acquisitions in fast food, coming in just under the Inspired Brand's $11.3 billion purchase of Dunkin' Donuts in October of 2020.
Yes.
Rourke owns Subway, Jimmy John. How do you own a Jimmy John's and a Subway? Why would you own restaurants in the same industry to have them compete against each
You know
other?
what bothers me about that is
Because
that
you got one over here and you got one over here.
Yeah, we'll see what that's. Rite Aid is now going out of business. There's no more Rite Aids here in 25 years. You got Walgreens and CVS.
See, when you
have
family operations like that, Subway after 60 years, the quality of the product's going to go down. Now that it's corporate, okay, let's make the meatballs smaller. Don't put that much cheese on.
Yeah, but they changed that.
That's going to happen. That's going to happen.
But they changed that. They went to fresh cut meats in the store. They're upgrading the stores. I don't know about the meatballs because I would not eat meatballs from the Subway. But so here's the thing. Subway has turned itself around in recent years with a revamped menu featuring freshly sliced meat. In July, the company announced its 10th consecutive quarter of positive sales at stores open at least 1 year, including 9.5% increase at its North American locations. Despite the sales turnaround, the number of U.S. Subway stores declined to 20,576 last year, according to Technomic. That's a sharp decrease from its peak in 2015 at 27,000.
How much is a franchise?
Well, here's where I'm going to go.
The store's underperforming. They're closing them.
Here's where I'm going. Right? You had Montgomery Wards. They went out of business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Well,
Kmart.
The internet.
Oh.
They go on and they do what? They
No,
go online.
so.
They go online. They go online now, and they buy everything. Everything
well,
from
Amazon's putting us
and Amazon is put a lot of businesses out as well.
Uber Eats and places like that helps to support these restaurants.
Right.
If you can't get out, you're calling Uber Eats to still make a delivery.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
So I hear what you're saying about
we have a neighbor that twice a day Uber Eats shows up at their place. I'm serious.
Right.
No, I get it. I did it once and this goes back to the question you asked before I went on the air. When we were doing pandemic and I was teaching from home, I had a little hunger pain twang and I had nothing in the freaking house. So what did I do? I called Jersey Mike's around the corner. I said, Uber Eats, I paid an extra $5 for the convenience. And 10 minutes later, right on time when I needed it during my 30-minute lunch break, ding dong.
There it is.
There it was.
Ding, ding.
Yeah.
So let's ask the question you talked about before we went on the show.
Yeah.
I thought that was a fun conversation.
What was
Who's your favorite? What was
Oh,
it?
yeah. Who's your favorite sandwich?
CTE? There it is. No.
Who is your
I
favorite? Your chain of food of
So
fast
give the
food.
four that we had. We had Subway. You talked about
We had
Jersey
Subway,
Mike's.
Jersey
Firehouse.
Mike's. We had Firehouse, and we had Jimmy John's.
So who's your top? Who's your top of all of
Let
that,
us
folks?
know. Let us know who you really like.
Call us 702-992-3207.
For
Put it in the chat room.
For me, it's convenience. You got Subway on one end of the street of us, and then you've got Porter Subs down the street. Then you have a Jimmy John's at the AM, PM. Jimmy
Now,
John's, again, is a little expensive, but I like their
But
sandwiches.
the commercials with Brad Garrett, though, about Jimmy John's. Jimmy's John's.
Jimmy's John's.
Jimmy's John's. He is so good in that
Well,
commercial.
how come they have to be gangsters? I mean, what is it about this gangster
They
stuff
like
with Jimmy
sandwiches.
John's?
We like sandwiches.
Because they
We
like to
some-
eat.
Is that-
Yeah, spaghetti.
Save
yeah.
the gravy. We like to eat. All right. It is Labor Day weekend. Now, what do you have for America Speaks?
Well, we can take a break from American Speech. If I was going to talk about Nebraska women's volleyball team set their record.
Right.
Well, let's
90
do a couple of that before we
Okay.
go to Labor Day stuff, because I
Okay.
have no idea what the hell you're talking about.
Over the week, this past week in Nebraska volleyball, the female team.
America Speaks.
Thank you, world. This is a segment where we pick the topic and then we read your comments,
And we
America.
forget the intro.
And we don't, and we forget the intro. We don't care about our opinion. It's about your opinion, America.
That's right.
This week's show, or this topic, Nebraska volleyball. The female team set a world record of 92,000 fans in Nebraska at the stadium where
Wow.
the Cornhuskers
So they
play.
played it outside in the football stadium?
Yes, they did. You should have seen the picture. At first, I was going, "What the hell?" And then volleyball. I like the sport of volleyball.
Well,
Especially-
yeah.
And
Especially beach volleyball.
well, beach volleyball is way better. But no, my niece was a great volleyball player in high school. She was, could have played in college. Unfortunately, a couple of scholarships fell through. But Nebraska, they set a world record. 92,000 people went and saw the Cornhuskers beat Omaha in a 3-set sweep. Now, again, women's sports, I have issues sometimes. I'm not a big fan of them. I don't watch them really. But volleyball's pretty cool. But yeah, 92,000
Only the
fans.
sexier sports he watches with females involved.
Right, they
Of
got to
course.
have the be on the beach.
He wants the beach. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it.
Wrestling.
I get it. I get
Mud
it.
All right,
wrestling,
well,
did you say?
right.
Did you say mud wrestling?
Yeah, like this what the scene in that movie with John Candy.
Oh, yes.
And he doesn't even watch, man. When you're talking about Miss America and all that type of stuff, Miss Universe, he doesn't
watches
watch
it for the
anything.
commercials.
The only one he watches is when they
Bikini.
do the swimming suit.
But they don't do
Yeah,
that anymore
that's
because
it.
it's sexist.
That's right. They
now.
don't even do the swimsuit.
What?
too.
Yeah, because
What
it's
happened?
sexist. Oh, we don't
Sexist.
want to show our vaginas on TV.
Oh, okay.
Whatever. Sooner Nation fans.
At least save the
636.
JJ. Will you
Right,
please?
the
I wanna see
vajayjay.
you walk out on
That's a
stage
medical
with a
term.
shot.
Right.
See how comfortable you are.
Right,
with that.
right. Hey, I could go there, but I'm not going to go there. Here's speaking of the Nebraska team, Sooner Nation fan 636. At least some sport is played in Nebraska. Nebraska hasn't done well ever since they left the Big 12. All right. The
What did he
Bees.
just say? I wasn't even listening. I don't
Okay,
know.
let's read it over.
Read it
Sooner,
again.
Nebraska.
Sooner Nation fan. At least some sport is played in Nebraska. Nebraska hasn't done well ever since they left the Big 12. Okay. The Bees. We support our women's sports, says the Lemming, that might be included in the 4,000 fans that packed the 15,500 capacity Pinnacle Bank Arena. Bandwagon fans would follow a tiddlywink if they were winning. Okay.
Do they even have 92,000 people in that area of Nebraska?
It's hard.
No,
to
they had to
believe.
come in from
They had to
everywhere.
come in from Omaha.
They had
right.
to go in from
Well, that's where they played.
everywhere.
It was yeah.
From Lincoln, they was there in Lincoln. Bring them over there. I'm like, they had to go way out, man, on the edges, out in the rural areas to bring people in, folks. I'm telling you now.
Said, here's one guy, 051314. How many boys are on their team? And then Frank42 responds, none, mostly reasonably to very attractive women. That's why we watch female sports.
Now, how do you know they're all women?
Well, God, I'm not going to go there. Jesus Christ, why'd you bring that up? I'm just trying to be easy paneasy, female sports.
I'm just asking the reporter's question. That's all.
Hey, what's happening on Labor Day?
Yeah, what is happening on Labor Day? One more. We'll do Frank 42. True, but it is an incredible place to play college sports, even if you are not an athlete. So, okay. All right. Whatever. This is a kind of boring topic here, so nobody gives a shit about
Unless there's a
sports. They
transgender
don't.
player.
Well, you know what I do. You know why? You know why I like that? It's because hopefully, man, we can absolutely, man, get the women on the same page as far as pay is concerned. They go out and they play their hearts out just like we do. How are we going to try to make our women a subculture to us?
Well, like you just said, to get equal pay, they have to be able to sell the same amount of advertising to justify.
You're
that.
absolutely right. But if you don't get the televised, right? That's just like with Denver. With us, we were in a small market. We didn't get the TV rights, right? We didn't get all those TV rights. Dallas did. So who do you think made more money?
And I hated that, by the way.
And so now that the women's sports are getting more televised and getting more exposure, hopefully, man, they'll be able to make more money, man.
America's team.
So then that like Brittany Reiner don't have to go over to Russia and get themselves in trouble.
Right.
America's team that trades for a quarterback but doesn't tell your starting quarterback and your head coach that you're getting them. Duh.
That's right.
Labor Day.
Isn't that something, man? Jerry
Lance?
Jones said what?
Trey Lance?
No.
Trey Lance. Yeah, they traded for Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Didn't tell Dak Prescott, who you just signed to a $400 bazillion extension.
Yes.
And your head coach, Super Bowl winning head coach, I might add, although he hasn't done shit in Dallas. You don't tell either of them that you're bringing in Trey Lance? How do you do that?
Well, the bottom line is the 49ers gave Alex Smith 5 seasons. They gave Trey Lance, 5 games?
Yeah.
But the
he's
guy's
out.
only thrown 400 passes in his entire football career, dating back to college. He did not play.
Right.
Bottom line is, what San Francisco gave up to get the pick to get him,
That's right.
they basically got back from Dallas to give Dallas Lance. But how
That's
do you
right.
not tell your head coach that you're bringing in and your number one multi-bazillion-dollar quarterback? By the way,
Jerry Jones says, I run this team.
That's right.
And you better know who the head dog is around
And
here.
you know
baby.
where he learned that from? Mr. Al Davis.
and I'll tell you what, Jerry Jones will never win a Super Bowl as long as he's the owner and general manager.
That's
I'll
right.
just
Thank
leave it
you.
at that. All right, Labor
He
Day.
already got 3.
Labor Day. Well, but those teams were no. When he took over those teams, he took them over when those teams were already established. I.e., listen, the former guy from the Nebraska head coach that took over after Jimmy Johnson, he was handed that Super Bowl.
That's right.
Because Johnson set those teams up after going 1-10.
That's right.
And Jerry
I thought
Jones,
it was Oklahoma.
he went from Who was the head coach?
For
Barry Switzer.
Yeah,
He became the Cowboys head
Switzer,
coach
yeah.
after Jimmy Johnson.
Right.
Those back-to-back Super Bowls, the only reason Switzer got it was because it was Jimmy Johnson's team from the year before.
No, I get that.
And Jerry Jones walked into those situations.
Right.
He had nothing to do with building those teams. They were already there.
And Jimmy Jones has
We'll have to
destroyed.
do the Labor Day stuff next week.
Really?
We'll
Yeah.
save it for Thanksgiving.
Right.
All right.
But anyway, Labor
Yes.
Day.
Yeah,
right?
Labor Day.
Yeah.
What do we talk? Oh, Labor Day. What is the reason we have Labor Day holiday, gents?
Labor Day says that summer is ending, kids are going back to school, and your punk ass got to go to work. Now, how
And
you
no
like
more
them apples?
and no more white clothes after Labor Day.
That's right.
Especially if they're white and patent leather
You can't
shoes.
wear after Labor Day white.
The holiday is rooted in the late, which is actually not true based on this story. The holiday is rooted in the late 19th century when labor activists pushed for a federal holiday to recognize the many contributions workers have made to America's strength, prosperity, and well-being. The history: New York was the first state to introduce a bill, but Oregon was the first to actually pass a law recognizing Labor Day on February 21st, 1887.
Wow.
During 1887, Colorado, Massachusetts, Jersey, and New York also passed laws creating a Labor Day holiday. By the end of the 1880s, Connecticut and Nebraska and Pennsylvania followed suit. And by 1894, 23 more states had adopted the holiday. Who founded Labor Day, you might ask?
I don't know, but that's a day where you don't have to work.
That is
The
very
irony
true.
of
No
it.
labor. So there are two conflicting stories. Neither one could be confirmed. One was Peter J. McGuire, because he was the general secretary of the Brotherhood of Carpenters and Joiners and a co-founder for the American Federation of Labor, suggested setting aside a day for a general holiday for the laboring classes.
Okay.
who from rude nature have delved and carved all the grandeur we behold. But many believe, but hold the phone, that machinist Matthew McGuire, I don't know if they're brothers, not Peter McGuire, founded the holiday. Recent research seems to support the contention that McGuire, Matthew, later the secretary of Local 344 of International Association of Machinists in Paterson, New Jersey, of all places, proposed the holiday in 1882 while serving as secretary for the Central Labor Union in New York. When did Labor Day become a national holiday, you might ask?
Yada, yada, yada.
1927.
On June 28, 1894, President Grover Cleveland signed a law making the first Monday in September national holiday. The current parades, picnics, and parties to celebrate are very similar to the festivities that were actually outlined by the first proposal for a holiday. They suggest that Labor Day should be observed with a street parade to exhibit, quote, the strength and spirit of the trade and labor organization.
That's right.
Which is why we have barbecues and parades and everything else today.
Wow.
Now, where'd you wear white? Let's talk about that, shall we? The idea of not wearing white after Labor Day is so widespread, some consider it settled law in the world of fashion. This fashion rule can be traced all the way back to the turn of the century.
Right.
Marie Claire reports the unspoken rule, now very much spoken, was created by the old money elite, hoping to elevate themselves above the nouveau riche, or the newly wealthy.
Right.
Wow.
Those with enough cash to travel during winter and fall wore white as vacation attire, meant to signal an air of leisure.
Right.
But those who stayed in city centers generally remained in dark clothing for the seasons after summer because they were not traveling. But this rule is not serious at all.
It's not.
Fashion is a form of self-expression, and as such, many rules are arbitrary. You can certainly don a white fit suit after Labor Day if fancy strikes. It is not a disrespect to anybody else.
It's like drinking.
Never wear a tan suit if you are the president.
Well, this sounds like
I knew he was going to
you
go
know
there.
what? This
That
sounds
was
like
your
a
boy.
Western to me. You know why it sounds like a Western? The bad guys wear the black hats and the good guys wear the white hats. Man, give me a break,
John, I'm on red.
Me too. I've been on red.
Not
What the
me.
I
Red.
hear you.
I'm on green.
Good.
Are we being picked up elsewhere?
I'm
Yeah.
on green.
Means that I better charge those.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Real quickly, people get confused between Labor Day and Memorial Day. I used to
do.
growing up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Memorial Day. Well,
I mean, Memorial Day is for the military, for the soldiers that gave their life in the wars of the past,
right.
and we also celebrate the folks that came home.
Correct.
Kind of
So
thing, too.
Memorial Day, you're 100% correct, remembers the U.S. military members who gave their lives in service to the country. It has been a federal holiday since 1971, but Memorial Day's history stretches back to the Civil War.
Civil.
When
You said Silver War.
Did I?
The Silver War.
I like silver.
That's probably why I had that.
God,
I love
here we
silver.
go.
Civil War, when it was known as Decoration Day. We all know now what Labor Day is. So the bottom line is, have a safe and happy Labor Day. I'm going to
Absolutely.
Reno, where the rain up there may not be as bad as this one. It's a
Again?
big rib cook-off.
Yo, bring some, man.
I
bring
wish
some,
I
please.
would never make it through TSA. They'd
I
all
know,
snag it
you
first.
rascal.
They would.
Two couples we met on the first cruise back in March. They had these barbecue businesses up there, and we joked about it on the cruise. Well, I met with them, one of them for breakfast a couple of weeks ago when I was up there. They said, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll save you some money. We'll put you as an employee of our company so we can put you in our block of rooms that we're getting with reduced rates. We got fares that are pretty comfortable. And tomorrow morning, we have a 7:10 flight up to Reno, coming back halfway on Monday.
Oh, cool.
All right.
So I will be rib-faced, hopefully, if in the rain, it looks like.
Well, stash a couple, man, ribs. So
I will do my
check
best.
them out,
I've
man.
been watching a lot of rib on TikTok. They have these guys that do all these recipes.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Just
All
get
right.
3 pounds of the.
I know, right? I read the article. They're expecting to go through 250,000 pounds of ribs.
I was never.
And this is an annual event.
Never a big rib guy. I know when we did when we had football in the end of summer camp,
Right.
football before the fall.
Well, they do briskets and
They
stuff
would have
too, but-
burgers and
Mhm.
and barbecue, and I was never a rib guy.
Oh, man.
was.
Well,
I love
if
that
it can be
bone.
barbecued, that's what I'm
lazy.
expecting
If they're
to eat while
boneless,
I'm up
I'll
there.
eat them.
I love that bone, man. Throw that bone, man.
Yep, bones. All right. With that, we're over time, and John is getting pissed because he can't edit the show as best as he can. When
Sorry,
it's under an hour.
John.
Whatever.
All right. Final thoughts there, Mr. Mouth.
Same old as I usually say. I know tough times are ahead of us. Just wake up, keep your head above water, keep going to work, keep doing your thing, and things will get better.
Gosh, I want everyone to be safe out there over, Labor Day. And once again, out there on that water, folks, be very safe. We've had some accidents out there and we've lost some folks. So be safe and take care of yourselves.
That's right. Everybody out there in the East Coast, like Rick said, please be safe, be careful, protect your family. As always, be kind to everybody. Why is that? We're all we have. Quick programming note. Kiwanis Connects, Thoughts Count Anywhere, and Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips this weekend will all be re-airs because we're shutting down for the weekend so John can pack up his shit, move into his new house this weekend. So that's why there are no live shows. So congratulations. Oh, and by the way,
John. College football, guys.
September 2nd, John Stiles' birthday.
John Stiles.
Let's sing him on the way out.
Boy,
shall we?
Doesn't he look young?
Watch us next time on Thoughts Count Anywhere, the Roundtable. There you go. It's coming back to haunt you. Ready? Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday to you.
Cha cha cha.
Happy birthday, dear JPEG. Happy birthday to you. We're now never going to get back on the air ever again. We'll see you next time on the Roundtable. Thank you for watching.